Good evening, everybody. Let's see who we got in the chat. We've got uh, Hugo Homestead, Rebecca Touched by Yarn, Arlene, Heather Landskron, and our Cabin in the Woods. How you guys doing tonight? Thanks for coming in. So this was kind of a boring week. We worked in the yards mostly. One day we really killed it in the yards, trimming the trees with the chainsaw and the big clumper. I call them clumpers. We cut up a lot of trees. And that pile we burned the pile finally. For those of you who know, I've been talking about it. And that was a big fire. It was a big fire. But it just, for some reason, it burned nice and slow. And it was a day that was very little wind. So it was good. Hey there, Kevin. I'm sorry, not Kevin. Hey there, Jennifer Ocean Homestead. Leonard Mountain Homestead. And there's my buddy Chris. Adventure awaits. Johnny, hey. How you doing? How many cows you got today? Yeah, I got to go do the good old colonoscopy this morning, and it was pretty uneventful, which is good. Nothing really seriously happened, and she said 85% of people have diverticulitis or Now I forgot how that's said. Diverticulitis is when you actually have a flare-up. Diverticuli in other words, they're just there. They could flare up at any time. It runs in the family. And then she said 85% of society has it anyway. So I guess I'm not special. It's just another thing that you have to deal with in life, like anything else. So it went well, and not a whole lot to say about it. But I would say, if you are over 50 years old, maybe you should consider going and getting yourself an appointment and have a checkup. Even if you don't wait until you have a reason to go have a checkup, go get it done. Because from a lot of stories I know of, they had no clue. And then they went and got a colonoscopy for some reason and found out about some issue that they had. So it's not a bad idea if you're over 50 to go get it scheduled. And it's not bad. I would rather do that than go to the dental hygienist. And I have my teeth are easy to clean. I don't like the dental hygienist. She goes, they'll usually say, "Oh, your teeth are so clean. Then why are you ripping on them so much?" So there is a link in the top of the chat. Anybody is welcome to come in. My cousin waited till she was 60 and found out she had colon cancer, and it was too late. Had he started at 50, would have still be here. Oh, see. Hopefully I'm letting people be aware of that, or have them thinking about it. If you haven't been thinking about it, start thinking about it. Prepping for heaven. Thank you for coming in. So yeah, the worst part about it is the prep, and even that's not bad. They say you're not supposed to eat the whole day before, but that stuff that you have to drink makes you feel full, so it's really not an issue. I didn't even feel like eating anything. I had a little bit of Jell-O, which the lady said, "You must have had green Jell-O." Is that a little bit too much information? BNS Odyssey is here. And so is Linda Peterson, Henry Leslie Homestead, or Vermont, I'm sorry. There's Thunderstick Homestead and Ministries. How you doing? No, it isn't. Go get it. Go get it. Everybody, I want everybody to go sign up. Sign up and get your colonoscopies. They give you something to talk about in your lives. I did put out a short while just before I was to go under. Probably about 5 minutes before I went under, I put out a short. So is there anybody I missed in here? Oh, I'm finally, you've heard me talk about my drill press and talk about how I want my drill press. Well, it's coming on the 28th, which is what, 2 days from now? So I'm pretty excited about that. So right off the bat, that's some content there because I'm going to have to do a review on it. And then I'm going to probably build a stand for it because it's a benchtop model, but I want it to be on a stand. And yes, I could have got a floor model, but they're way more expensive. And I really wanted it to be mobile because I think I'm going to put like a slab of cement outside the barn so I could just roll my equipment out on that slab patio / pergola area, if you want to call it. And then I can do my stuff outside. So I have open air with the dust and everything. It is thundering here. No rain yet. We had a fair bit of rain today, and I wasn't expecting that either. Good evening, Old Man King Homestead, and he is on after me at the 10 o'clock hour Central. Amy, how close are you to your 1,000? If anybody in this chat is not subscribed to Amy, go check out her channel. Leave a comment, watch a couple videos, make it set in. But don't subscribe just to subscribe. Subscribe because you want to, and because a subscriber that doesn't watch your videos is kind of pointless. I don't mean to sound bad, it's just a reality. You can have a bunch of subscribers that don't watch your stuff, and then YouTube will look at that in the analytics and say, yeah, man, your videos must be bad. Even your subscribers aren't watching you. No judgment here with Tish Ross. How are you doing tonight? Yeah, you what were you talking about in your live, talking about how you're an introvert and when you're done, and I know about it? Yeah, I do know about it. Anytime I've ever been in a live or whatever and you're done and you leave. But that's okay because that's the way I feel. That's the way I feel sometimes. And I love being around people, just like you said, but when it's time for me to go be by myself, it's time. Southwest Living with Val. Thank you for coming in. Oh, James Hall is in here too. I watched all but her lives. I can't spend 3 hours on a live. I don't know what that's about. Rambling with the Brahms is in here. Good evening. Thank you for coming in. All right. It looks like I said hi to everybody. Again, people, the link is at the top of the chat. Have I made it 15 minutes yet? No, I'm really excited about that drill press. There's a lot of projects I want to do that do involve a drill press. And the lathe is next, but I'm apprehensive about picking one out because I just don't want to make a bad decision. It's probably the one lathe that I'll have for the rest of my life. So I want it to be the one that's going to fit my purposes the best. Oh, 3 hours. Well, you rotate people out in a 3-hour period. It's not always the same people from start to finish, and that's fine. Some people might not be able to be in the beginning of your live, and then if you're at the end, some people are available and they can come in. Mr. Leonard Mountain Homestead is in here. Good evening. Thank you for coming in. Let's see. So my wild home is here. Man, you've been doing well. You've been doing well. I see that your subscriber count has gotten up to, was it 8,000 the last I looked? I can't remember. Something like that. Maybe higher now. Congratulations. I'm glad to see that you're taking off. Henry Leslie Vermont. Yeah, I said hi to him in the beginning. So Pretty and Pooch are talking about getting a travel camper. That would be cool. You'd probably get a lot more use out of that than you think you would. Once you do it one time, you probably want to be doing it all the time. So I am working on a project. Man, it is the slowest project I've ever worked on in my life. And here's somebody. Are you ready? Are you ready? Nod your head.
Yeah, I'm here. Hey guys, how's it going? How are you doing, Brian?
I was doing so well.
Well, good. So how was your I mean, you had your colonoscopy today, and I'm proud of you for that. I'm very proud because that's one of those things that, like I said, my cousin, he waited till he was 60 to go, and had he went just 10 years earlier, he'd still be here. But he waited, and he waited because he could feel something going on, so he decided to have a colonoscopy instead of, just doing the checks, and stuff like that. So, hi, Lori. Hey, Heather.
The doctors don't seem to push that as much as they really should. I mean,
hi, Val.
Finally had my doctor tell me to go do that, and you kind of don't want to initiate that. It's not something that you want to do yourself, but once your doctor starts ragging on you, then it's easier for you to say, okay, I'll go do it.
Right.
But
well, I mean, yeah, and well, our doctor's been real good about that kind of stuff. They've been what they've been doing is, when we hit 50, they say, well, you're 50. It's time to, get this started. And I think it's like a every 10-year thing. Of course, I think Christine does it a little more often than that because of some family medical history. Her mother passed from colon cancer.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't run in my family. I don't know of anybody who's had colon cancer in my family.
Yeah. You said some.
But we do have diverticulitis runs in our family a lot, which, something that's constantly irritating you could cause issues.
Right, exactly. So, but one of the things I came up for is because I wanted to. We have a video out, and it's about the hay that we made this year.
Yeah.
On the first cutting, and in that video, I asked people to guess how many bales of hay it made. If you ask, or if you comment in the comments section on that video of how many bales of hay you think the field's made this time on this first cutting, and you're right or very close, then we're going to announce it on our live tomorrow night, and it's going to be worth something to you. So, it might be worth your while to go over and check it out. It's called Rake and Roll, I think is what that video is called.
Yep.
So just throw up a number. You never know. It might work out. I'll give a couple of hints to the folks here. The field has never made more than 114 bales. And the least amount it's ever made is 56 bales. So it's going to be I can tell you it's going to be between that. It's going to be between 56 and 114, I can tell you. So, and our second cutting typically has more hay than the first cutting. So that's something else you might take into account. And if you really watch, you can see that I count there's 3 fields that I counted, and I tell you exactly how much there are in 3 parcels of that. And it's just a big area that's left that you'd have to figure out and then add it to the other number and come up with it.
Why don't you just tell us the answer?
Huh?
Why don't you just tell us the answer?
I will tell you the answer tomorrow night on the live. So, but anyway.
Did I just see Christine?
You did.
Yes, there she
Hi,
is.
Christine.
How you doing?
So she is traveling across South Dakota right now. And so she's out of town. Hopefully she'll be back in time for a live tomorrow. Not back. She'll be somewhere where she can get on our live tomorrow evening.
It's tomorrow night. Get your popcorn, people. Get your popcorn.
What? Why?
The debates.
Huh? What are we doing popcorn for? 76.45 bales.
Jeff Killian is in here. Good evening. Nice to see you come in. I'll probably get to see you this year, Jeff. Are you going to go to Bar Forge's meetup?
So was anybody in the chat invited to Freedom Weekend or whatever they call it this year?
Not me.
Well, it's one of those.
That's the Arkansas group thing. It's
in Mississippi this year.
Well, yeah, but there's only 2 people outside the Arkansas group that are outside of Arkansas.
No. There's Mike and Terry go. I think Tim and Dana Mason were invited, or Mike and Terry are invited. Let's just put it that way. They're invited, and
they're invited every year. They started out with that group.
And then there's what do you call it? Ridge Life Tim. He's what is he in Tennessee or something like that? So yeah, there's a few that aren't in Arkansas that go or get invited. I think Sean of Let's Trade Paint and them have been invited. I think they're here in Oklahoma. There's several Oklahoma channels that get invited. Yeah. Only invitation. That's right. It is invitation only, Val. I don't know what the criteria to be invited is, but it's some other criteria, I guess. So.
Well, they're people that actually get together and do things together. So they're a little bit tighter. They're a little bit tighter.
Well, I mean, like I said, okay. I understand part of that. I just don't understand.
There's community in the YouTube, but they're an actual community in real life. I mean, like they do stuff together all the time.
Yeah.
Not just at meetups.
Hey, Monica and Brian. I'm Monica. I'm sorry. Monica and Brian. Or Eric.
Eric.
Yeah, Eric. Monica and Eric.
They got that bench video out, and you guys need to go check it out if you haven't.
Yeah, I need to check that one out. I want to see how he made that bench.
Eric made a bench that has storage, and it's made from live. Well, one of the boards is the main board is Live Edge. It's really nice. I'm sure it's something that they'll be able to keep in their family for a long time.
Yeah. That would be that's it. That's great that he's able to make something like that, for them. I would like to be able to. I'd like to be able to do stuff like that. I'm excited about your drill press that you're getting. So, I got a toolbox. So I'm excited about my toolbox, and you're excited about that. But
well, drill press, lathe, and thickness planer have been on my list for a long time. And the only reason why I don't have them is because I'm apprehensive about picking one out. I've kept pushing it off, and I finally figured out which drill press I wanted. So I said I better get on that and get it started. But the lathe, I mean, there's so many different lathes out there.
Yeah.
And at different price points, and one does this and one does that, and which one is the one that's going to best fit my situation? So I don't know.
Right. Exactly.
I'll probably be having a conversation with Mike from Wooden Things and stuff about that, because I think he probably has a pretty good history of experience with lathes, and he can help me out pretty good.
Yes, Tony, we're still doing the live tomorrow night. Whether I have to do it by myself or Christine's with me, or because if somebody guesses that, whoever gets closest on that number is going to get something tomorrow night on our live. So anyway, just throwing that out there for anybody that wants to partake of any of that. But how much rain did you get, Tony? I know you kept saying like buckets and, just huge rains and stuff like that. Give me in inches of rain. We got a half inch here at the house, and that's the first rain we've had in nearly 6 weeks. So. Yeah,
the way the weather forecast was showing, we were supposed to be in a drought, and we get a pretty good downpour every once in a while. So, right. Hey, there is Kevin, Hiking with Jackie Boy. Good evening.
Hi, Kevin. I've said hello to Kevin a few times tonight on lives.
I'm going to have to call him and see what's going on with him. He's having issues with his knee, and I haven't really got the story straight. So I'll call you and find out.
Well, Jennifer, the plan is Christine is going to be the guest on the live tomorrow night. So if she makes it to where she needs to be by then, because she's going to be getting off work and then having to travel to the place where she can be on the live. So if she makes it in time, then yeah, she'll be in there. But yeah. So Jennifer, she is always hitting me up about a baby calf or a cat. She calls it a baby cow. A baby cow. Needs a baby cow.
A lot of people call them baby cows.
Baby cow.
Even if they know what they're supposed to be called.
I can't remember who that is that does the baby cow thing. They I think they were associated with what's that channel? You guys talk about it all the time. I don't know much about it. See, what is it? It's probably one of the first homesteading channels that was over this way. They're having a meetup somewhere over in Bigsby or something like that. What is that? Who is that?
You're talking about the Crockers?
I'm talking about a Crocker. Yeah.
They are. You know, I wish I could go to all the meetups, but
I think that one is just like showing up at it's a bar and grill type place, and everybody just kind of hanging out for a while and then leaving.
I think they have it pretty much planned like they had Shoot Dang.
Really? Because I was looking into it and it looked like they're just going to kind of show up at a bar and grill. Everybody's going to, visit there. There's not going to be any of that other, giveaways and all that stuff. And then that's kind of it. So
it's not 3 days like typical.
No, I think it's a show. It's just a show up. It's just like everybody's going to meet up at this bar and grill and visit for a while, and then I think now that's what my understanding from everything that I've read about it.
Oh.
If somebody in the chat knows something different, let us know.
I saw Rebecca come in and then we got to talking. Sorry, Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca.
I wanted to get some people's opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's one of the hats that I've made, and to me I'm not feeling it. And I don't know why.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You're not feeling it? Is that how many different colors of purple?
Is that an 8-hour hat?
No, they're not 8 hours anymore because I'm using a smaller loom. There's
okay.
It is purple. Yes, it is purple. But the other colors, let me just isolate this. I put red in it, and it's kind of like has somewhat of a red, a blue, and I'm not sure what color that is, but there's a kind of a purple, but it's not really a purple. It's just, maybe there's somebody, because something just said, keep making this. And I'm guessing there's going to be someone that's going to want this. I'm just not feeling it. And I usually do when I make them, but this one's got me stumped. What does everybody think?
So now, can you hold it up again, please? So those two, all the purple in it, to me, that's purple to me. I know you're going to say it's some other color.
No, it's purple. It's purple.
Is that all the same purples that are in it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I couldn't tell from here. The color was kind of.
Yes.
It looked like
they're all the same.
Different.
It's the same purple.
Tony likes it.
Who
does?
And Adventure.
Yep. Melody likes it.
Melody likes it. Okay.
And Monica likes it. So
and Monica likes it. Wow.
Jennifer said take a rabbit hide or something and wrap around it, and
I'm just
that's really hard.
Everybody else is.
That's really hard to say, Rebecca, because one person doesn't like a color or whatever doesn't mean somebody else isn't. So it's all
true. So true.
Relative.
Yeah. It's kind of like
I personally would not want a purple hat.
So Joe Jacobson, he was out there in the chat. He said he was talking about the meetup that they're going to have over there, and he said what they're going to do is hotel meetup on Friday, Saturday hangout in town with a bar meetup on Saturday night. So there you go. So he knows more about it. Sure knows more about it, because I was listening to people in chats and different things everywhere, and they were talking about it. It was going to be a meetup at a bar and grill. I didn't know that they were going to do the hotel the night before and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool.
Sometimes, well, those things take a life of their own. Some people will stay later, some will show up earlier, and it just, in fact, it's getting that way more and more each time we go to an event. I mean, I got there on a Wednesday this time. Wait a minute, I got there.
Yeah, you were there. You were here on Wednesday because you did your live from right in there.
Yeah, and I got last year. I got there on a Thursday.
Yeah.
And I might even have to make it. I need a day. Once I get there, I need a day to calm down, and then I can enjoy the festivities.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is nice to be able to have some relaxed time whenever you can just downtime for a while. And then before you just get full bore into, like Saturday on a meetup is just a full bore day, you know. It's wide open on a Saturday. Hey, Danimal, still got that cornhole board? or have they been sold yet? You auctioned them off yet? Man, those were nice. There's no, if I'd have won those,
they were too skinny for you.
They would go anywhere.
They were too skinny for you. You didn't like them.
Hey, I'd learn to like them if I owned them.
Hey, you know they have these other ones that are for training. It's not for game tournament, but it's just the hole. It's a box with a hole in it. So it's more like train yourself to do a hole in one.
Yeah.
There is no slide up the side and come around the back. All in.
I've seen some wild stuff on there. I saw one where they had, they have one stacked. I mean, they got a leaner, right? I mean, right in the hole in the front. I mean, the bag is halfway falling in, and the person stands back there, throws over it, and it falls backwards into the hole, and doesn't knock the leaner in. That's the trick. Like,
well, wow. I didn't pay attention to it like I did the first year, but the first year those bags would hit the board and dance. I mean, they would do this dance thing on it, and I would watch it in slow motion because I had the footage, and I was like, man, that's smooth.
I mean, those guys are good. I mean, they can slide one right up the side and just like a bowling ball will come into the side on us.
Like there was a back swoop.
They can do that right into the side of that hole. It's crazy. So Tony's already got his spots for next year for Team Killer and MTs. That's awesome. I got to get our spot for both of those as well. We gotta get the shelter booked up. So that's coming real quick. So we'll have that. We'll have our spot. I think I don't know, Jesse and them might have their spot already too. So I know they've got their spot over at for MT's meetup at Mid America. So
I haven't even been able to think about that stuff yet.
Well, I mean, I think Mike and Terry's is. They said it's some kind of a special weekend or something like that. So they said it's going to be pretty busy. So they said you need to kind of book that one pretty early.
Yeah.
I don't really foresee everything being all booked up at 10 Killer because that's time of the year whenever not tremendous amount of people are camping when we do it. So, which makes it kind of nice because the park is not completely full. Love me a cherry slush with extra cherry.
Oh, I couldn't think of anything good to eat today after you've cleared your guts out and everything, you have absolutely nothing in it. You eat something and then you can feel that one clump follow the whole track. And it's been giving me cramps.
I didn't have mine until I was 60.
Uh-oh.
They found no problems.
Well, you're lucky.
So then they said I
Good.
can wait 10
That's
years.
good that they didn't find any problems. Wow.
No problems.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. Because like I said, my cousin, he waited till he was feeling something. He was just he's like, I don't know, there's something going on. So he went to the doctor. Doctor scheduled him up a colonoscopy. They went in. Wasn't no good. And he lasted about 2 months after that.
I had a friend that it was a while ago, but he was kind of a big dude. So he had a softball sized tumor in his intestine, or on the outside of his intestine, kind of inside outside. So he didn't know it, and it really crept up on him. And I mean, I think he was having a little problem with something, and he went and had a colonoscopy scheduled. But a lot of damage can be done before you even realize something's going on.
Yeah, it can. It's very important to pay. Yeah, and Monica says that's why it's so important to pay attention to your gut health, good quality probiotics and supplements if you aren't going to eat properly. Yeah, exactly. Because
So true.
It's that cancer is one of the most treatable cancers that there is, but you have to catch it early. You can't wait with it, and so it is important to take care of that. And I think I've had 3 colonoscopies, and I am almost 60. So I've had a few.
You're due for another one.
I'm due for another one. Actually, they did schedule me for another one, but it was in the middle of calving season, is the spring calving season. I've got the stuff in there and everything. I've got all the mixes and all that stuff that they gave me to get prep. I've got the prep. Let's just put it that way. And whenever it came to, I told them, I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to that deal because I have to go every day and check on these heifers. So they put it off, and they said, come call us back when you need to reschedule. So I need to call them back and get that rescheduled again. Christine already had hers, and it was perfect.
Just do it in the winter.
Well, the winter's not a good time either, because the best time for me probably would be, I don't know, probably would have been already, but been about, by June. June would have been a good month for me to do it.
Because you need probably about 2 days, 1 day to prep and 1 day to go through it.
They take me off of food 2 days early. I don't eat I had my colonoscopy on the 3rd day after not eating for 2. And they do
That's how they did mine.
Man, when I was 17, it was like 3 days. 3 days. You had to. I could get into too much information, but there were some procedures that you had to do yourself that should have been done at the doctor's office. You remember that commercial where the guy's holding a knife and said, "Should I be doing this?" He's talking to the doctor on the phone.
Yeah, they always it's a 2 days off food, on liquid only diet, and then the procedure day. So, and usually the procedure day, they want you to show up about 6 o'clock in the morning, and then you can have it any time throughout. I mean, the last time I went, it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I got there at 6. So, they just have everybody pile in at one time, and then just work their way through the list. I guess it's kind of like an assembly line. Next.
I was supposed to be in at 8. I got there at 8, and it was scheduled for 10, and they pretty much stuck to that, I think. And then there was like a half-hour recovery period where I woke up. and I drink my $5,000 Pepsi.
Isn't that nice whenever you wake up and you have no idea where you're at or anything, and you're just, I don't know if it was the same for you, but you know, you got somebody, hey, Mr. Gillum, hey, Mr. Gillum, how are you doing?
I know the doctor came in and told me, I thought he said that he didn't find anything, but I guess I must have been dreaming or something because they did find that I have diverticulitis. It's not diverticulitis. That's when you have
Is it diverticulosis?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
When you have the
precursor to diverticulitis is diverticulosis. So I have diverticulosis.
Yeah, 85% of everybody has diverticulosis. We're not.
Yeah, it's diverticulitis is a little bit more serious than osis. So yeah, I was happy whenever they said that's all I've got going on. So,
well, the osis part is just that you have it.
mm-hmm.
It's just not flared up.
You're kind of actually it's kind of precursed. You know, you could.
Well, I've already had diverticulitis.
Really?
Yeah.
Never had diverticulitis.
That was the last colonoscopy I had was because I was having problems.
Oh no.
So.
Uh-oh, son is
fine. I mean, if you have, I mean, my parents have had it. My uncles, everybody I know has had diverticulitis. And the older you get, do
you know me?
You're being hospitalized a little bit more common. What?
I said, do you know me? I haven't had it.
You have diverticulosis.
Not ticulitis, though. Different.
Okay. Well, you better knock on some wood or something. Well, the reason why you have it is because you might not have. The damage is done from having it. So you wouldn't have it without, you had at some point had a flare up of it you didn't know about. Because you can have flare ups without knowing it.
The way they explained it to me, they said diverticulosis is the precursor to diverticulitis. And they said they had me to go on a different diet to keep from getting diverticulitis. And as far as I know, I've never had diverticulitis.
And you never went on the diet, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I've eaten all the, you know, it's that fiber, you know, there's always this. It is the weirdest thing to me, roughage and fiber for gut health. You know, it just seems like it's kind of, it doesn't sound right. You know, it's like eat hay, you know, or some, you know, stuff that's, you know, roughage. It just doesn't even sound right. But I guess it's like a scrubber for your gut or something like that. It's what it's got to be. I mean, that's all I can figure. It's like eating a hot scrubber out of the sink or something.
There, Monica explains it, and I know she looked it up.
It really wasn't a thing before the 90s.
I never heard of it.
Diverticulosis.
Hey, Wanda Henry is in here. I'm sorry I didn't see you earlier. Or did she just get here? Oh, Ann Dale's in here too, and she's wearing her jammies.
No way. Not Ann Dale. She wouldn't be in her jammies right now.
I missed I better check this list to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Leanne Gunther's in here. Good evening, and thanks for coming in.
Oh, hey, yeah. That's what whenever somebody says fiber, that's all I can think of.
I have made another Santa hat.
Well, really? How long does it take you now to make a Santa hat?
I haven't been keeping a track of the time, but I finished one I finished that hat today, and then I finished the Santa hat. I'm getting faster at them. Probably 6 hours now. So I'm getting faster at it, knowing what I need to do.
back to good.
Yeah, there's Rachel. Rachel's got her water buffalo video out. If you haven't seen it,
Wanda Henry says, for me, if you want to be on my list, I'll get my little book and write it in there.
Wanda Henry, all you got to do is let her know.
Just let me know. I'll put your name in my little book.
So why is that hat long, Rebecca? If it's not an 8-hour hat, explain.
Explain. I will. I'm using a smaller loom. And the pattern, this is a 36 peg loom. So it is not as big as the other one, which is a 48. This one is much smaller. But I'm still hoping with the ladies, it goes a lot quicker. You know, because the first time that I made the hats, I didn't listen to what size loom I was supposed to use. That's what. And I started making it on the 48, which then I had to get used to doing that to get it to that size and things. So here's the way I make pom-poms. That's what I'm winding on right now.
Oh, okay.
But the person is here in the chat. If he's still here, he knows. But I don't think he's going to say.
Southwest Living with Val said something will change your life, and I'm looking for what's going to change my life. What did she write
I
above?
think she's talking about the carnivore diet, probably. She's on that. She's been on that carnivore diet for what, 9 months now. She's lost quite a bit of weight on it, and I'm on the keto diet. I've lost about 17 pounds in the last, I guess I've been on it for 3 weeks or so. I think something like that.
When I went to the doctor yesterday, they weighed me.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they always do. And I'm proud to say I have gotten under 250 pounds.
That's good.
I'm
Me
like,
too.
I'm like so happy. It's been a long time coming.
Me too. I've got a buffer, enough of a buffer under 250 now to say I don't weigh.
I don't yet, but I'm trying to do my best. One person said I should go on that carnivore diet, and I'm like,
I do keto.
You can go.
Thank you,
cut
Heather.
out the bread and the sugar, and that's the bulk of it. And then you cut those things out, and then it makes you less. You don't get so hungry. Sugar and carbs will make you hungry, and you'll be searching for food all the time.
Right. Exactly. I don't have to, no bread. Nope. I do still have some pop, but the pop I have is that, it's usually a zero pop every once in a while. And I don't drink that much. I do drink a lot of tea, but the tea is not, like sweet tea.
I was watching something about regular pop versus diet pop.
Mm-hmm.
And, they said, the study that they were doing said that it's still better to take the diet pop over the sugar pop, even though it's chemical, because the sugar is just really bad for you, and they put a lot in there.
Yeah.
So
that's why whenever I drink the pop, it's the zeros.
So I guess it's true that the diet pop is the less of the two evils.
There's Monica. Diet soda is so bad.
Oh, it is. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying it's still better for you than the sugar stuff.
I don't drink any pop at all.
I rarely do. I usually binge it, and then I'll stop and go months without it.
But see, the like it depends. Like if I'm eating out, it depends upon where I'm eating out. There are some places that I can eat out and drink the water that they have, and it's excellent water. And then there's some places that you wonder if you're getting it right out of the sink, the dishwater or whatever. So, or I guess you could take your own water in with you.
Well, they have a lot of those filtered straws on the market that be something to consider.
Tony says 265 pounds here. I wish I could eat junk food. I bet I would be over 450 pounds. You wish you could eat? No. If you have an out and about lifestyle, like you're going and stuff like that, it is hard to eat keto or carnivore or whatever you want to call it. But but it's real easy to eat junk. I mean, super easy. I mean, you pull in,
it's so easy to get.
Load up.
It's already done.
Yeah.
A donut, it's a full thing to eat right there. You didn't have to do it. You didn't have to spread anything on it. You didn't have to cook it or.
Yeah,
that old joke. Walk in the house and say, "There's nothing to eat in here but ingredients," which means you have to make something.
Well, see me, I walk. Like I would get up, leave here in the morning to go take care of things, and first thing I do is stop, get a Mountain Dew and one of those Little Debbie's donuts, the 6-pack in a package, of Little Debbie's donuts. Grab that, and I'm good for till lunchtime or whatever. Got me going, but that's so bad on you. I mean, it is horrible for you. I mean, I know. See, back in I guess I'm going to do some history here. Back before 2011, I weighed 275 pounds. I went on a diet. I got down to 198 pounds, and I kept it that way till about 2019. 2019, I started eating again, the pops and the donuts and the stuff like that. And I got up to 200 and almost 60 pounds this last time. And I'm now down into the 230s. So
I'm just under you. I had 227 this morning.
Yeah. So I'm on my way down. I'm on my way down again. My goal is right about 210 to 220, because my wife said I look horrible at 200. I mean, she said I just look absolutely emaciated at 200. So
the older we get, the worse we look. When these people, look how much weight I lost. Hey, you look better fat. I mean, it's just the truth. I mean, some people, they look better with a little weight on them.
Hey, PSD Odyssey.
It's more important for them.
Hi, Paul.
Better. So about that short, Johnny.
Yeah.
I re-released the
gas cap.
Fuel cap short. And the first time I got 652 views, which sucked. But this time I just about to hit 3,000. So it was worth redoing it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you got,
I would suggest that to anybody, if you've got a short that you felt should have done well because you thought it was a good short and it didn't do well, that's just the analytics didn't work in your favors. Try it again.
Try it again. Kill that dude off and
a little bit. I mean, I shortened it a little bit. I added a little bit, made it a little different, put a different thumbnail on it.
Yeah, we can go in.
People in the community saw it, but I wanted it to go past the community and get more people in here.
Exactly. That's awesome. We almost never eat out at all. I haven't stopped at a gas station in 20 years. Walk in my house and you won't find junk food at all. I just need to watch breads and sugars on other foods. Wow, Tony.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem.
Man, that's the most boring eating. That's the most boring eating system I've ever seen. I commend you, Tony. It's what you're supposed to do, but Yeah. Every once in a while, it's good to eat something that you haven't made at the house. I like Chinese food, and I don't make Chinese food, so.
I don't eat it anymore out because it's just disgusting. The cost is ridiculous. I mean, you could pay for it, but is it really? I don't feel the value of it is worth what you have to pay for it anymore.
Well, that's true.
Heather said something. Heather, it depends on what chocolate you get. If you get the darker chocolates, will help you lose weight. Instead of milk chocolate, get at least a 70% chocolate. You know, it's a little bitter. You've got to get used to the taste, but you know, some chocolates will help you.
Does that mean I can eat chocolate all day?
No, it's in moderation.
I hate that word.
I'm sorry.
When I want to eat something, I want a big old bowl of it.
The thing that my brother doesn't quite understand is I will take this. I don't know how much it holds, but I will drink this before I eat breakfast. I will drink one of these completely before I eat breakfast, and then I'll eat breakfast and I'm full, so I don't eat as much. I need to find out how much this holds, so I know how much I'm drinking.
So Val said we're not supposed to eat for pleasure, eat for nutrition. Well, you know, there's a lot of things that, you know, you're probably not supposed to do, but you know, you do them anyway. I mean, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure. So you're talking about for pleasure. There's a lot of different things skydiving. Let's talk about that for a minute. That's probably not one of the things that you should be doing, but a lot of people do. So,
look at Joe Jacobson's comment. I balance my diet and carry it into the other room.
Exactly. And then you know, we're talking about somebody does. Monica said she couldn't eat Chinese food unless they make it. It's too expensive for a family to eat out. I can tell you, Monica, there's a place up here where you can go in and you can get Chinese food off the buffet by the pound. They weigh it, and then you pay for it. And it is cheaper to get it to go than it is to sit there and eat it on the buffet. So I go up there all the time, and me and Christine eat for less than what I could eat by myself. I mean, we're able, because I just grab it to go and load up, and they weigh it out and we go. It never equals up to what the actual buffet price is, I guess you'd call it. So you got somebody else coming on here in 1 minute, right? Where they're going?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Heather. And Justin's probably watching if he hasn't fallen asleep. Yeah, he watches it on the big screen every other weekend. Every other week, probably. If you see him in here, then he's here. If he's not, he's on the big screen and not chatting. What was I going to say? Oh, okay. So, yeah, in 1 minute, we got Old Man King Homestead. That's Peter, and he's going to do his live at the 10 o'clock Central spot. So I want to thank everybody that came in on the chat and my moderators, and for Johnny and Rebecca for coming up on panel and joining me for the period. And have a good week, everybody. We'll see you next week, Wednesday, 9 o'clock Central. Bye for now.
Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.
Yes, see him tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
5 o'clock Central.